Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Smoky Mountain Mustang Football Show with head coach JT Postell. And Coach, we want to thank our great friends at Smoky Mountain Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy, Carlisle Schomburg, and all the gang. And of course, Jared Boone for he's running the technical end. And always good to talk some football with you. I know it's a little tougher to talk about a loss. I know a tough loss to Tuscola last Friday night.
Yeah, it is, and give Tuscola a lot of credit. I thought they had a really good game plan and did some great things. And for us, it's continuing to grow and get better. And we had some timely or untimely turnovers, I should say, and some
Yeah.
costly penalties that certainly hurt some of the momentum that we did have. But we just got to learn from it and keep working.
Coach, that was kind of my question. I think we had a couple of pass interceptions and lost one on a fumble. And man, if you lose three turnovers, that's really hard to overcome, isn't it?
It is, and their first score. We had a drop snap on punt. Which is something that we just haven't done all year, and they recovered and got great field position, and then you turn around and then you have another fumble, and then you throw an interception here and one there, and it's really hard to overcome those, like you said, and then you throw that in with some holding penalties along the way, which for us is, I believe that was the as penalized as we've been in this whole season. So, you just add that all up together, and it makes for a long, tough night.
Yeah, it does. Coach, I was kind of surprised just looking at some of the stats of the game that Tuscola ran the football as much as they did. Now, you might not have been surprised much, but they ran it, I think, like 38 times. And normally they like to throw it around a little more, but they stuck with the ground game a lot on Friday.
Well, and we feel like they've been trying to be more balanced this year because I think last year they really tried to throw the football a lot. This year I think they still do,
Yeah.
but they've got some really good linemen up front and some very capable running backs, and especially when they got the lead in the second half, that's when they really started to run the football, and which I understand why they were doing that. But like I said, they had a great game plan, and we've just got to get better, and we will. We've got a young football team that came out today on a Monday and had a great practice, and I thought the preparation was good in the weight room and today as well. So we'll learn and we'll get better from this.
Yeah, Coach, we've talked about this a little bit, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a team like yours that has, not many seniors, and it's really a junior-dominated football team. So you really do have a lot of kids who are playing their first year of varsity football.
We do, and we have I believe we have 26 juniors on the team this year, and and we have again several sophomores who are up playing for us and playing in key roles for us. So we have a very small senior class, although it's a group that I love dearly and think a lot of. But we're a young football team. We're just having some growing pains, and like I said, I really love their attitude and their work ethic, and I know this group will continue to get better.
Yeah, Coach, and I don't say this to criticize the officials at all because they have a hard job, but
Sure.
just watching a lot of high school football this year, it seems like there have been more holding penalties. I mean, watching various teams, doesn't matter who's playing who, it just seems like in every game that I've seen, and you can say what you think on this, that there seems to be a lot of holding penalties, no matter who's playing who this year.
There has been, and like I said, that was the most that we've had in a game all season the other night. Now, and that was that was a bad time, but we'll try to learn from it. And sometimes I think officials get so used to in today's game. There's so much spread offense, so much
Yeah.
throwing the football around. You don't see teams as much as you used to in the past who do truly run the football or attempt to run the football, and so it's just different. But again, those type of things really did hurt us the other night. But again, like I said, I'm taking nothing away from Tuscola. They played a tremendous game, and give them all the credit.
Yeah, Coach, I know it's so hard, especially when you turn the ball over, that momentum swings, Tuscola's way. And man, it was hard to get that momentum back when they get that early mo going, isn't it?
It did, and like I said, but I thought our defense did a great job the other night, and we put our defense offensively, we put them in some bad spots with those
Yeah.
turnovers, and they had to defend the short field, but I thought our defense played really well and played hard for 4 quarters, and but offensively we just really couldn't gain any traction, and then your defense is having to turn right back around and stay on the field or be back out there on the field, so that made it tough, and it's just things we've got to fix.
Yeah. Coach, from year to year, it seems like, a lot of times quarterbacks get the limelight and the spotlight. But it seems like this year in this Mountain 8 conference, that running backs are really coming to the forefront of
Yeah.
just about every football team. I know, we have several running backs for the Mustangs who have played really well this year. We're going to see another good running back with Brevard this Friday with Thompson, but it just seems like every team is blessed with some good talent at running back.
Absolutely, and certainly Brevard has a good one, and but we also know Franklin has a really really good one, and we faced Pisgah a few weeks ago, and they have an outstanding running back, and
Yeah.
the one that we've got to see down the road or coming up here is a young man from West Henderson who we had to deal with last year, who's very good, and then North Henderson's got a sophomore running back, yeah, it's seems like everybody or every team you face every week, you've got to deal with their running game this year, and that presents a lot of challenges.
I was kind of surprised, in that Brevard game with North Henderson. I was really surprised at the final score. Brevard won handily 52-18. And North Henderson, as you mentioned, has one of those outstanding backs, and Parker Willis, who ran for 181 yards, and they still wound up on a very short end of the stick. But Brevard's a talented football team, obviously.
Yeah, they don't. I haven't seen too many weaknesses, on their team. They're so explosive offensively. They're big up front. They have so many playmakers at the skill position and they can line up, run the football, which they do well. Then they can throw it out in space to those talented wide receivers, and it can make you miss. And so that presents a whole lot of problems for us. And then defensively, they really fly around. They play sound football. So it's going to be a tough one this week for sure.
One thing they do, Coach, that you don't see a whole lot. They have two quarterbacks
Yeah.
they bring in and out a lot, and you don't see that a whole lot. So that can really be a headache defensively, looking at the two different styles these quarterbacks bring to you.
It does, and it just gives you even more to prepare for through the week because you're dealing with two different kids and sometimes two different styles because one can be a more effective thrower and the other one can be a more effective runner. So, but you've got to prep for both and just try to make sure you have a good plan in place.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they're pretty balanced against North Henderson. I think they passed for 163 and ran for 262 yards, led by Thompson, who had 136 yards, I believe, on the ground. And it just looks like moving up into this new conference for Brevard. They really haven't missed a beat at all, have they?
They haven't, and Coach Luke Coleman, who's their head coach, he's done an outstanding job over there, a great job with them. And I think going back a few years ago, they had one of their former coaches, Coach Pritchett, I believe was his name. I
Yeah.
think he really kind of got things moving again for him in the right direction. And Coach Coleman has just picked up on that and taken it to another level. But they're a very good football team, and with a lot of really good players, and it's well coached. So, like I said, it's going to be a big, tough game Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be, as you mentioned, they're big up front, so that's gonna put an extra challenge on our guys in that line of scrimmage, isn't it?
It is. They've got great size. They're senior heavy. I think their entire offensive line and their defensive line are all senior starters. So
Wow.
they've got a really good senior class, and certainly got some very talented underclassmen as well. But no, they're a good football team, and I think they're ranked where they are, and then there's a reason for that. They're a very good program.
No doubt. Coach, coming out of the Tuscola game, are all our guys pretty healthy? Nothing that's really going to hurt us this week in this conference game?
Yeah, like I say, we're about as healthy as we can be, like everybody else, and us included. We've got guys who are dealing with some nagging injuries, and they're just continue to get treatment, and we're going to try to work through those. But I think all in all, we're still in pretty good shape there.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of Mustang fans will be able to make that road trip over to Transylvania County to Brevard, and they, of course, have a great fan support. So
Yeah.
one thing about it, going to see a lot of blue over there on Friday.
Yeah, you definitely will, and and then going over there, like I've said before, we got to travel out 26 a little bit, and so that can
Yeah.
present some challenges within themselves right there. So, but we've done it before, so we'll prep for that, and our guys, we're going to go over there and we're going to give it our best shot, make no doubt about it. Though, I mean, we're going over there to win a ball game, and we're not going to back down from them. We know they're very good, and but we're going to line up and see what we can do.
Coach, talking about the conference, at Brevard this week, and as you mentioned, West Henderson next week, then Franklin and North Henderson. But this conference, I think, every year it's tough, but this year it just seems more balanced than maybe it has been in a long time.
For sure. And every week, like I've said previously, it's a tough ball game. You're facing a good football team every week that's well coached and have got really good players. And so no, you've got your work cut out for you, and you better be sure you have a really good plan in place, or you're going to be in for a long night.
Oh, no doubt. Coach, we appreciate talking with you. It's always great. And I know the Mustang faithful will be there on Friday to take on those Blue Devils. So, hey, good luck on the road at Brevard this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you, Coach.